I spent 5 months scanning thousands of books at thrift stores, hunting for hidden gems to flip on Amazon. All of that to find just one thing. Is selling books on Amazon FBA actually worth it? Hundreds of hours later, here's the answer, and it might surprise you. Let's break it all down. How it works, what I learned, and most importantly, how much money I made with this side hustle. And just to be clear, don't worry, I am not trying to sell you a course at the end of this video. This is just my honest experience with testing this side hustle. On paper, it sounds pretty simple. You just buy cheap books locally, you ship them to Amazon's warehouse, and then you just let Amazon handle the rest, and you collect the profit, right? Well, not exactly. There's a lot more to it. From scanning and sorting to pricing and just dealing with the restrictions that limit what new sellers can list and sell for sale on Amazon. And before we get into how much money I actually made, let's rewind and how I actually learned this process and the tools what made it possible. When I started, I thought it was easy. You just download the Amazon Seller app on your phone and you just start scanning books. And then you start making money. But that's not how it went. I spent hours in the Goodwill's aisles scanning book after book, trying to make sense of the sales rank, the profits, and the demand of the books on Amazon. Most of the books I scanned basically would have made you lost money or would have made 0 cents to buy or made $1 after all the fees. After a frustrating week, I realized I had to do a better system out there. And that's when I started researching what other resellers were using and found ScoutIQ. This is not a paid promotion, just some software that I use. And that completely changed how I source. Instead of guessing what books might sell and how much profit I could make, I was relying on actual data. And that shift from guessing to actual analyzing was when this started to feel more like a business and less like a gamble. Once I got the hang of using ScoutIQ, sourcing became the main focus. Over the several weeks, I visited 7 different thrift stores and donation stores, mostly Goodwills and local reuse shops in my area. A typical sourcing day was long. I would spend anywhere from about 3 to 8 hours of scanning thousands of books. And it's way more physical demanding than people realize. You're constantly crouching, bending, and stretching and reaching lower shelves. Man, it really messes with your lower back and my knees. After weeks of frustration and finally discovering ScoutIQ, it was a huge relief. Not only was the process much faster, but also gave me a renewed sense of motivation. For the first time, I felt like I was actually learning how to make smart buying decisions instead of just guessing. With ScoutIQ, I scanned nearly 5,600 books in total with the app, and the best day I did 1,600 books in about 8 hours of scanning. My overall accepted rate was about 6%, which means I bought 6% of the books that I actually scanned and bought them and then relisted them online, which shows how selective you need to be to make any profit with this side hustle. In practice, most of the books that I actually sold made anywhere from about $2 to $5 of profit, but one really stood out. It was an old stock trading book that sold for $139, earning me about $110 in profit from that single sale. It's definitely a competitive side hustle. I would run into book resellers nearly every time I was sourcing in the stores. After sourcing comes the not so fun part, and that's actually prepping the books. I spent hours removing stickers, checking for writing or just damages on the page, and making sure everything looked decent in order to ship into Amazon. Then came the labeling, the scanning again for shipments, and boxing everything in order to send it to Amazon. It's not hard work, but it's definitely repetitive and it eats up a lot of time. For the listing, I initially used Amazon Seller Essential, which worked but was painfully slow. Later, I ended up switching to GoToLister, which let me upload multiple books in batches instead of just one at a time. It wasn't glamorous, but it definitely made a big difference. The tool didn't make the process easy, but they made it manageable. And more importantly, they kept me from burning out way too early on with the side hustle. Once the books were shipped in, I had GoToLister handle the repricing, so I would just go back to the cycle of just sourcing more books and adding to my inventory. All these extra steps and delays made me realize just how much effort went into every dollar profit with the side hustle. When I saw the numbers for the first time, it was a bit discouraging, to be honest. After all the time and effort, the profit felt a lot smaller than I would have expected. But it also gave me perspective on how much work it really takes in order to make money with Amazon books. Between Amazon losing my shipments, pricing competition, and Amazon just randomly removing my listings, a lot of those issues cut into the bottom line and just delayed any real results. So here's the breakdown. I bought 337 books for about $700 total. After 5 months, I made about $1,300 in sales. I paid Amazon $635 in Amazon fees, and I spent $123 on the books sold, leaving me with about $540 of profit for those sales, which doesn't sound too bad. But once you also factor in that I had 201 unsold or just restricted books that still cost me $417, my actual profit dropped to about $122 for those 5 months of work. And that's not even counting Amazon disposal fees, the gas money, or the hours of scanning, cleaning, and packing the books. Man, it was a grind. So here's what I learned with the whole experience. As far as the pros, there's low startup costs, and you could get started with just a couple $100s. It's a great way to learn Amazon FBA and how it works, and then in the future, you could always pivot to other Amazon side hustles if you like. You could also scale if you find cheap or free books. As far as the cons, it is extremely time consuming, from sourcing to prepping to packaging. It's also physically demanding, and no one talks about this. There's hours spent scanning thousands of books. It's competitive and restrictive, especially for new sellers. In the beginning, when you have to build the sales history, you have to use that in order to get ungated, so it's like the chicken or the egg issue. And lastly, there's very thin margins unless you find free inventory. It often felt like a race to the bottom on pricing where everyone tries to just undercut each other just to move their inventory faster. If I ever try the side hustle again, I would mainly focus on sourcing free books. Also, post ads on Facebook Marketplace or ask libraries and schools when they're having huge book sales. And if Amazon restricts certain titles, use tools like Book Scouter, and that can help you sell them elsewhere and still make a profit. Overall, I'm glad I tried the side hustle. It taught me how to treat reselling like a real business and gave me a better understanding of what it actually takes to drive profit on Amazon. Looking back, this side hustle taught me a lot between the lost boxes, the slow Amazon responses, the tough competition, and razor-thin margins. It was definitely a test of my patience over the last 5 months. Even with all that effort, many of the books just didn't have a large enough profit margin to be worth it. If you could get the books for free, and book reselling can definitely work as a side hustle. But if you have to buy the inventory, the time investment and the low profits just don't make sense. After this, I actually pivoted into reselling other products from Home Depot and Lowe's. And within 3 short months, I actually hit $16,000 in monthly sales. And my next goal is $30,000 a month by the end of the year. I'll be sharing exactly how I did this switch very soon in the future video. So if you want to see how I scaled from books to full-on Amazon reselling, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out.